You know me, it's that M.I.C. Craig, aka Mr. Impact, back once again here on the Mr. Impact Craig YouTube channel. This time we are reviewing TNA Impact from last night on YouTube, Ultimate Insiders, and of course on Access TV and wherever else you get your Impact. We kicked off with a brawl between Alexander Hammerstone and Josh Alexander. A classic TNA brawl. Josh busted open, security coming out, piling out, but couldn't break them up. In the end, it took Tommy Dreamer to come out and stop the madness. Tommy sent Josh to the back because he wanted to have a word with Hammerstone himself. Explained to Hammerstone that Hammerstone is better than Dreamer ever was, and that his legacy isn't cemented yet, but it will be if he keeps up the tactics of attacking people from behind and just basically being a heel. It seemed like it was getting through to Hammerstone. It wasn't. Dreamer turned his back to say thank you to the crowd. On his way out, Hammerstone attacked him. Nice forearm to the back of the head. Of course, Josh Alexander makes a save and puts out a challenge to Hammerstone for Rebellion. Josh Alexander wants this match at Rebellion to be a last man standing match, and I am here for it 100%. These two have had two great matches, and it makes sense that as a added stipulation to the rubber match. And the last man standing is perfect for this. I can't wait to see what they do with the stipulation. But all I know is I'm excited by Hammerstone's presence in TNA. I'm excited by what Josh Alexander has to do. As it's Josh Alexander, so it's always going to be a good match, always going to be a good feud. Hammerstone, Alexander, last man standing, Rebellion. Let's do this. I'm excited for it. That was quickly followed up by the match for the Digital Media Championship with Crazy Steve taking on the challenger and Laredo Kid. Very solid match for the DMC. Great storytelling, because originally when this match was announced, I didn't see much happening. I wasn't invested in this, but Steve did a very good job of playing that role he plays, trying to push Laredo Kid to react, saying he's not good enough, saying that if you want what I have, take it, don't worry about what the people think. Steve riling Laredo Kid up by going for the mask, constantly ripping at the mask. Wound up with Laredo Kid getting disqualified after plenty of shots in the corner, the referee count him. Laredo Kid ended up shoving the referee. DQ, and afterwards Steve trying to jump Laredo Kid in the ring and trying to attack him with the title belt. Laredo Kid ducks, Steve drops out, dropping the belt before he hits the floor in the ring, before he hits the floor outside of the ring. Laredo Kid picks it up, holds it above his head, so this isn't over. And this is, besides Dreamer, but that was when Steve won it. This is the first real feud Steve's had for the Digital Media Championship. Haven't seen if it's been announced for the Countdown to Rebellion. Probably has. You can let me know if it has and where you think this feud is going to head to. But all in all, a very good match. Good storytelling. A feud for the Digital Media Championship. Let's see where this goes. Then backstage quickly we had Alex Shelley apologising to Kushida and Sabin, saying to Kushida that he knew he threw in the towel to protect him because he cared about him, all that good stuff. Then apologises to Sabin, and Shelley says that, Shelley and Sabin both say that Time Machine are stronger together, and that leads to something down the line, but we'll get into that in a bit more. But obviously if you've kept up with the latest stuff, you know where the Motor City Machine Guns have gone. So that doesn't really leave much room for next week. But again, I'll get into that a bit further down the line. Then we had tag team action in First Class defeating the ABC. Honestly, I wasn't mad at First Class. Like, I wasn't sure what to make of it. I'm not the biggest AJ Francis fan, but it works. That's all I can really say on that, is that it works and it looks like it could work really well. Again, it fed into the ABC thing. Are they going to remain friends? They lost the match. Ray Walt was fanning the flames a little bit on commentary, saying they should just call it a day on the tag team. As I said in the preview, it feels like it's going to come to an end, but ABC still looks like a very good team, and it was only a roll up through to with Swan holding the trunks of Ace for the win. But then, of course, like, nobody said his name, but he appeared. Joe Hendry makes his way to a ringside. Says to Swan, "Hey, you attacked me. I gave you an opportunity to explain why, but all I got was something to the effect of..." And then he goes on to do a variation of the Fresh Prince rap, culminating in calling AJ Francis a fat Uncle Phil. Joe Hendry is fantastic, and Joe Hendry also said that Santino has approved a match for him and Rich Swann at Rebellion, unless I misheard that, but I'm pretty sure it said Rebellion. Obviously, there's going to be some shenanigans in that match with AJ Francis. Hopefully we get that song. Don't know in what form, obviously. Can't really do a Fresh Prince rap on this, but fantastic stuff. Very, very solid match. Then we were taken backstage with Santino following some directions on his phone, leading to the VIP area of the Concierge and Ash by Elegance. Ash by Elegance wanted to be in the Knockouts title match at Rebellion, wanted to make it a triple threat, telling Santino to let us sign the contract. Santino played this role brilliantly, asking the Concierge how the velvet rope works. The Concierge lifts it up and Santino went, "Not happening," and walks. Really, really good segment. I'm liking Ash by Elegance. Match quality isn't fantastic, but it's only been a few squash matches, plus that match last week with Xia Brookside. Not the best match quality, but a very, very good character development. And the Concierge is just, like, formerly known as George the Iceman. Very, very good partnership in this. I like it a lot. The character development, as I said, is really coming along nicely, and I like how this is going. Not sure it's going to lead to a title match for Ash by Elegance eventually. Let's just focus it more on the character side of stuff, shall we? Then, staying backstage, Mustafa Ali has a proposition for the GYV, the grizzled young vets. Ali wants the GYV to take out Jake Something. GYV saying they're not getting involved in it unless they have a reason to. And Jake Something pops up and calls them lackeys, I forget which, words to that effect. James Drake takes offense to that, and then Ali and GYV set up a plan for later on in the show. That takes us back to the ring, not for a match, but for the contract signing for the Knockouts World Championship match at Rebellion between Jordynne Grace and Steph DeLanda, who has Matt Cardona, or Matt Corduba, whatever Santino calls him. Santino gets it wrong. Cardona's pissed. Santino is just... Santino is it works really well. We know the character Santino plays, but I like how he misnamed Cardona and not the challenger and champion for the title match. Felt like it kept it professional. Santino did a great job of overseeing it. Yeah, Cardona reminds Jordynne Grace that he was the one that beat her for the Digital Media Championship, and Grace reminds Stelander and Cardona that not only did Grace beat Steph Stelander in her first match in TNA, if I'm not mistaken, she also beat Cardona, and she also beat Cardona's wife, Chelsea Green. Calls Steph Stelander, reminds Steph Stelander that Jordynne Grace is the juggernaut bitch, and then calls Matt Cardona a bitch to chants of that effect. Typical contract signing, they both sign the contract, Santino makes it official. Cardona distracts Santino, while Steph Stelander goes to work on trying to attack Jordynne Grace. Grace drops the table. A brawl ensues. It flip-flops between who it looks like is going through the table, but in the end, with a chokeslam, it's Steph Stelander putting Jordynne Grace through the table and holding the Knockouts Championship high over Jordynne Grace. All in all, a very good segment. I can't fault it. It was a very good segment. You know, it's a contract signing in wrestling. Of course, someone's going through that table, but the aesthetic of it looked better than it has previously. You know, other times they've tried to keep the title up on its own, didn't really look that great. But they've got a block, they kept the title around that. Title in the middle. You know, we had the 3 microphones, Cardona standing behind Stelander, and it felt like a big match, and that's what it has to be seen as. I don't see Stelander winning this, but I liked it. I like a good contract signing, and this was that. It did the job, and yeah, it felt big. It felt important, and that's the reason you have a contract signing in the middle of a ring, to give it that big fight feel, and I can't fault it. It worked. Then we head backstage. The System confront Marsha Slamovich, asking if Marsha's thought any more on allowing Alicia to team with Marsha in Marsha's guaranteed rematch for the Knockouts Tag Team titles. We'll get into that a little bit further on in a few minutes, but I'm not a fan of this. I don't necessarily like the idea of Marsha and Alicia teaming up together and winning the tag team titles from Spitfire and taking it into the System. But I guess it would be an interesting dynamic to see whether Marsha aligns with the System properly. You know, they can win the tag titles, but does Marsha become a part of the System? It would be an interesting dynamic in that aspect, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to be happy about it. If I'm not, then it's working. I'm not overly keen on whatever this is going to be. Then we cut to a segment, part 2 of The Truth with Jonathan Gresham. Gresham saying how he has to wear 3 masks, and that's what I got from that, really. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Obviously, we know Gresham has signed with TNA, but I don't know what this is supposed to be doing. I'm assuming we'll get more parts of this going on in the future. But for me, it was just there. Okay, cool. Let's see what happens. But maybe I've missed something and I'm not fully paying attention to it. Let me know if I missed something in that segment, but it seemed to me as it was just Gresham saying how he wears 3 masks. One that shows the public, one that shows his family and friends, and the other is just a mask he has to wear. I don't know. But yeah, as I said, I'm going to give it a chance. I don't know what it's fully about, so the more we see of it, hopefully the more is revealed. Then we head back to the ring, this time for a match with the TNA World Champion Moose defeating one half of Speedball Mountain in Trent 7. As predicted, System at ringside and Speedball at ringside kept it clean for the most part. Speedball had to drag Eddie off the apron. Moose wins with a spear. Trent 7 getting the 7-star lariat in. But all in all, Moose wins with the spear. Of course, the System get in the ring. Seven's out of it. Speedball gets in. They surround Speedball. Confronts Speedball. Speedball kicks Myers in the face. Fair enough. But to my surprise, Time Machine make the save for Speedball. Thought it was going to be Nemeth. Would make sense to be Nemeth, but it wasn't. It was Time Machine. Time Machine cleared the ring. We're backstage in Gorilla, Santino. The System come through, annoyed, saying that it's a lawless company, just allowing anyone to attack everyone. Santino says, I can't be in control of where everyone goes. But the System want the machine guns. Santino says that they can defend the tag team titles next week against them. Speedball Mountain come through, they agree to it, and we are getting the System versus the Motor City Machine Guns for the TNA World Tag Team Championships next week. But obviously, once again, if you kept up with what's going on, Machine Guns are technically free agents. So I don't hold out much hope for the Machine Guns winning that one. Also, before we go back to in-ring action, the System, Speedball Mountain clear, leaving Santino still in Gorilla. Decay come through, Rosemary and Havoc. They want their Knockouts World Title match, Knockouts World Tag Team Title rematch at Rebellion against Spitfire. Santino says, you got it, and Santino's gone. Then we head back to the ring. It's Jake something against either James Drake or Zach Gibson of the GYV. It turns out to be James Drake. Zach Gibson tries to distract something quite a lot, gets the scarf, doesn't really work. Dina comes out to make the save, taking Zach Gibson off the ring apron, allowing a distraction, leading to Jake something hitting into the void on James Drake for the 1-2-3. Out comes Mustafa Ali with a bunch of people saying no to something. Something has limits. In other words, not wanting Jake something to be able to compete for the X Division Championship at Rebellion. Something takes a dive onto the people outside, then stares down Ali, drags him into the ring with the X Division Championship. The GYV get involved. Dina gets involved. They take out Jake something. They take out Dina, and then Ali hits Jake something with the X Division Championship in the face. No mention of the Dinas, really, being former tag team partners, supposedly cousins. No mention of that, but I'm guessing next week on the Go Home show we will get the Dinas reunion against the GYV. I'm here for it. Good segment, good match. As I said, I'm pretty sure Jake Something's going to win this one at Rebellion, because I don't know how long Ali's agreement with TNA is, but when Ali announced that he was going to be at TNA, it was just for the three, for Was it sacrifice? No, it wasn't sacrifice. No surrender. No sacrifice, no surrender. And for the Philly tapings and rebellion. So we'll see what happens there. But I think Jake Something will be the new X Division champion. Now time for the main event. Monsters Ball between PCO and Khan. And wow. For a TV Monsters Ball, very, very good. As we knew it would be. Khan has been a monster. PCO has always been PCO and always delivers with this stuff. Khan really showed through though. Really showed through, and I'm here for it. I like Khan a lot. I think Khan, I'm not sure what Khan goes after this, but could as long as they find the right feud for Khan next, they can keep this going. Some brutal spots. I mean, the overhead toss for the ladder, Khan falling for the table, the animator through the table onto Khan. The chokes. Khan took a lot of damage in this one. Chokeslam onto it, onto the tax. PCO with the PCO salt onto tax on top of Khan, which, if you caught in the background, Matthew Raywatt's reaction where he jumped out of his chair was fantastic. Raywatt and Hannafin are the two of the best commentators in pro wrestling right now, and I will die on that hill. Some brutal spots, like Khan putting tax in the mouth of PCO spitting him in his face, like the kendo stick shots, the PCO in the trash can just being punched and stomped. Like, I was a bit disappointed to see no barbed wire, but all in all, for a Monsters Ball match, it was good. It was very good. I thought not the best Monsters Ball match has been, but there's been 58 of 48, 58. I think Hannafin said 58 Monsters Ball matches, and yeah, still very good. But I want to know what's next for PCO and Khan in this one. This feud has to be done now. PCO's won it, but it's almost what next? I think it's going to have PCO going back to doing the squash matches against whoever. I don't know what's next for Khan. I'm intrigued by what they do next for these two, but it was a very good match for Khan and PCO. Khan has really shone through in this feud, I find, and it works for him. And I'm here for what they do next. But yeah, Rebellion is going to be exciting too. If not all they've announced for it, I will do a preview of Rebellion I'll have to figure out when I do the Rebellion preview, but you'll see it. But yeah, that's been all about TNA. This has been the Impact review. Let me know what you thought about the show, favourite parts of it, what you liked, what you didn't like. If you agree with me on things I've said, if you disagree with me, cool. All in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Follow me here, there, everywhere. You'll see here. I've been the MIC. Until next time, goodbye, my friends.